All right, everybody, welcome to this education-specific webinar. My name is Kayla. I'm the Education and Marketing Coordinator here at Selvas BLV. We're really happy to have you. I know that there's a lot of devices out there for your classroom, so I hope that today we can really clarify how our devices are really, truly the best asset in your classroom this year. Like I said, my name is Kayla. We have Randy here as well, if he wants to say hello.
Hi, everybody. My name is Randy. I'm the CEO of the Selvas BLV. Thank you for your time. I hope that your time is worth for this webinar and all the information we provide today. Thank you.
And then we also have Earl, if Earl wants to pop on and say hi.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I am Earl Harrison, National Account Manager, and I will be covering some of the advances in the BrailleSense 7 today.
So the way that this webinar is going to be structured, just for everybody's information, is we're going to start with the GoVision Move, which is our newest magnifier. Once that portion is over, it's about 20 minutes or so, 18 minutes and 25 seconds exactly. But once that portion is over, we are going to open up for Q&A about the GoVision Move. From there, we're going to move on to the BrailleSense 7, and then after that, we're going to open up for Q&A on the BrailleSense 7. Of course, if you something pops into your mind for GoVision and you forget to ask it once the BrailleSense 7 is over, you're welcome to ask it as well. But we do ask that you keep these Q&As specifically to these two topics. Nothing about the Sense Player or BrailleSense 6 or anything like that. If you have any questions, we will give you a contact info that you can ask after the webinar. So with that being said, I think we're ready to hop right in. This next portion is on the GoVision Move. In 1 second. All right, let's do this. Here we have our GoVision Move, our portable magnifier. To open this device, you want to make sure that the handle is lifted up. From there, you want to unclick these orange buttons on the side to release the top of the magnifier from the base. Slide one hand on top of the base and press down while you pull up with your other hand on the handle. It'll reach a stopping point about 45 degrees. From there, you can release the handle down and remove this camera protector. We have 3 different camera modes. Here we have a mirror view. We have a magnification view where it's going to actually look down at what is on the base. And then our most impressive is our distance view. With the distance view, you're going to release this camera cover here. I'll show you from the front. But of course, in the distance view, it is flipped, so it releases down. All right, so those are our 3 camera modes. To then pull out the screen, you can pull the base of the screen forward like that, pull it out just a little, and then you can move it up or down to your desired height. For the purpose of this demonstration, we are going to have it a little bit more down so you can just see it a little bit better. All right, to turn on the device, you want to press and long hold the power button for about 3 seconds. You're going to hear a beep. That's how you know it's on, and then you're going to see our HIMSS logo appear on the screen. Great, you can see that it's looking down. At the base, we're going to slide what we are going to read today, which is recipes on pies. All right, tropical pie, let's do that, because I'm in San Diego and it's summery and the tropical pie sounds pretty good. So battery life on this is about 6 to 7 hours. So if you don't want to leave it plugged in the classroom, or say your student wants to carry it from classroom to classroom with him or her, then the battery life is about 6 to 7 hours. Otherwise, if it's going to stay in one classroom, you can always just leave it plugged in. Next, we're going to review all of the basic functions here. And after that, we're going to dive in to the menu where you have a little bit more options for settings. And then we'll review how to close the device. All right, so now we're going to review the basic functions of the first 4 setting buttons. This is our color mode, our home button, our zoom wheel, and our menu button. These two buttons here are our additional features that we're going to review after this. And this is our line marker and pen tracking button and our screen capture button. But for now, we're going to focus on these four here. So all of these buttons actually have different settings, whether you single press it or long press it. So moving back to the power button really quick, as we saw, if you long press it, it's going to turn the device on and off. If you single press it, it's going to enter it into sleep mode and out of sleep mode. Okay, let's start with the color button here. So we have our tropical pie. I'm going to zoom in with the zoom wheel just so we can get a little bit closer. All right, so every time you single press the color mode button, it's going to cycle between 5 different color combinations. So this is our natural, that was right before this. Here is white background with black text, black background with white text, yellow background, black text, the inverse of that, and then we have a green background with a black text. The more you push it, the more it's going to cycle through, and then the last one's always going to be our natural color here. Let me move this over so you can see it's the natural color of the paper. All right, tropical pie. So if you long press the color mode button, you're going to be able to change the contrast. You can use the zoom wheel to decrease the contrast. If you turn it to the left, if you turn it to the right, it's going to increase the contrast there. Couple seconds of inactivity there, it's going to move back to increase zoom or decrease zoom. So pretty simple to just let it return to its natural state, will you? All right, now we have the home button. Single press of the home button is going to lock the focus of the screen. If you press it again, it's going to release the focus lock. If you long hold the home button, it's going to readjust the focus. So say you're moving a bunch of things underneath the camera, you notice it's having a hard time adjusting its focus. Long press the home button will bring you back into focus. Now the home button single press is also a really great way to exit anything that you're in that you don't want to be in anymore. And we'll go over that later. All right, moving along, we have our zoom wheel. As we said, move to the right increases, move to the left decreases. If you single press the zoom wheel, it's going to freeze it where exactly it is. So this is frozen here. You can see I move the recipe book and whatever's displayed is still there. If you press the zoom button again, it's going to release it. If you press and hold the zoom button, rather than a single press, it's going to autofocus auto zoom back to where it thinks it should be. All right, that's freeze, unfreeze, single press, focus lock, focus unlock. Okay, moving on to the menu button here. You can see that there's arrows on it. So if we press and hold the menu button, it's going to take you into the settings. Now you can either use the zoom wheel to go through the selections, or you can use these little arrows. The up and down, side to side. There's all different settings in here. The gallery will go over once we get here, but inside the gallery is just an array of pictures that you have taken with the screen capture that are saved into an SD card that should be inserted into the device. Moving over one, we have light and screen. This is going to change the brightness of the device. So we have darkness for what's actually being displayed down here. So this refers to the light being projected onto whatever you're reading. If you want to go down to screen, it'll actually increase and decrease the screen brightness. Anytime you want to exit out of a setting you're in, you can press and hold the menu button, move on over. Colors, let's open that up. You can see that there's 16 different color combinations that you can use with the first button we went over, which is the color mode button. So there's different background colors and text colors, as you are aware. So if we move over, this is going to be white on black, white text on black background. Move over, blue text on yellow background, all the way through. And then there's ways that you can select them so that way when you push through the color mode buttons, it will show those selections as your default instead of the device default there. Long press to exit out. Moving on to the line marker. We'll go over this in the next section, but the line marker here that shows along your screen to help you follow which line you're on, you can change the color of that. We have different settings here. So we have a language setting, sleep timer, pen tracking, which is going to show the different kinds of pointer, SD card format, and you can reset all of your settings. All right, and then the last one is just information about the device, the name, the model, the AP version, manufacturer, all of that. All right, so those are our basic functions. Once again, we'll go through it again. You have the power button that's going to enter it into on and off or in and out of your sleep mode. Color mode changes the color of the background versus the color of the text, as well as the contrast. We have the home button that is going to free or autofocus and focus lock, the zoom wheel to magnify in or out, as well as freeze the screen and unfreeze it. And then we have our menu button here where you can enter the menu and change different settings for not only the device, but all of the functions as well. Now, one thing that this menu button does do that we haven't gone over yet is if you single press it, it's going to take you into your gallery. And that takes us into our next section, which is going to be additional features of the GoVision Move. All right, moving on to additional features of the GoVision Move. So right next to the menu button, we have the pen tracking and line marker button. So if you single press it, it's going to display a horizontal line, press it again for the vertical line, press it again for horizontal focus, press again for vertical focus. Now in any of these, you can zoom while you're in these modes. And then if you actually want to move it across the screen, you can use the menu button. If you push up, it can increase how much you see, decrease how much you see, and it'll be for all of it. So if you want this line thicker or thinner, up or down, you can do it with this little menu button toggle. And then like I said, for the color of the line, those can be found in the menu settings that we just saw there. Now pen tracking, that's what's super exciting about this one. Each of these models are going to come with a whole sticker sheet of a pen tracking little line. Here, let me get behind the camera so I can see what's going on. You can either put it on your fingernail, which is really nice if you want to drag your finger across whatever you're looking at, or you can wrap it around the pen pointer like that. This one's been used a lot, so it's not so sticky, but that's why you get a full sheet. Okay, so if you're going to look along here, I'm going to move this up, the screen up just a minute so you can see. I don't want to mark it, so you can see me moving it along. Perfect. Let me adjust the camera. All right. So you can see here, we don't have pen tracker turned on right now, so it's not going to do it, but just so you can see the marker on the pen in the magnifier, and as you move, you want to keep it at a certain level. So let's activate this. You want to press and hold the line marker button to activate pen tracking. You know it's activated when it's going to zoom out, create a blue box around the border, and then a black box right there. You're going to zoom, use your zoom wheel to choose which magnification you want. And then you're going to place your pen tracker. Pen tracker. Come on, guys. Pen tracker right here. You can see that there's a little green box with the plus sign there. That's going to show you that it's active. And so the camera is going to follow the pen as it goes. So let's zoom in just a little bit so we get off of the screen. You start here, stir small amount hot mixture into 3, come all the way back, slightly beaten egg yolks. Return to hot mixture, cook and stir 2 minutes, cool to room temperature. So anywhere your pen goes, the camera is going to go as well. Now keep in mind, you can have this on your finger. Let me show you that. A lot of the times I see people cut it into their actual fingernail shape. We're not going to do that right now. Wow, my finger looks huge. And so you're going to move it over, just like you would your pen. All right. Enough of a magnified finger. All right. So to exit pen tracking mode, you just want to press the home button. Per usual, anytime you want to exit out of something, the home button is there for you. All right, screen capture. That's the last and final button we're going to talk about. It's this green one with the camera here. This feature is used to save specific content to an SD card. So I'm going to enter the SD card. Behind here, I'll show you all of this after where it's actually going. Pressed it in. So if we hit screen capture, the check mark is going to say, okay, the SD card is entered, and now this is a photo that is saved to the SD card. So let's take another picture just so we can kind of create a gallery. Let's do the actual recipe or part of it. Click that, it's gonna capture it. Let's do one more. Ooh, strawberry pie. All right, capture that. So now to view all three of those screen captures that we have, you can go back to the menu button as we did before, single press it, and it's going to show you a gallery. You can use the toggle to go through. Oh, we do have a gallery. We have lots. The SD card wasn't inserted last time. That's why they weren't showing up. But look at all, this is from CSUN. Who remembers CSUN? Okay, obviously everybody does. So you can see how many pictures you're at right now. We're at 40, 41, 42, 43. I think these recipes are a lot more interesting. 45, 46. It'll beep when it lets you know you're at the end of the gallery. If you want to delete a saved image, just single press the menu button and it's going to show here, cancel or okay. Move it over to the right, okay to delete, and now we no longer have the strawberry pie recipe. But if you guys want it, just email me. Okay. All right, so that's it for all of the buttons. Just a quick review. The power button is for powering on and off and then entering to sleep mode. We have the color mode button where you can change contrast and the color combinations of how you display what you're being magnified. We have the home button here that is nice to bring you back whenever you're in a setting that you don't want to be in anymore. And then it also locks and unlocks the current focus. The zoom wheel, obviously it's to zoom in and out, and then a single press will freeze and unfreeze an image for you. All right, then we have the menu button here. A single press is going to access playback to see the content that you have previously captured on your SD card. If you press and hold it, you're going to enter the whole menu screen where you can change different settings of the device, as well as different settings of each button here. After the menu button, you have the line marker and pen tracker. That's going to create a line for you to follow whatever you're reading, or the pen tracking mechanism with the sticker that we talked about. Put that there. And right next to that one, we have the screen capture. That's what's going to be used to capture actual images of what you're magnifying there. So onto connectivity of this device. I'm going to, for this purpose, just move the screen down so you can see a little more. Right here, this is a USB-C port. You can connect the GoVision Move to your PC using a USB-C cable. This allows you to access and view the images stored on the GoVision Move's SD card directly through your PC. Onto the magnifier and use all of the same functions. This is the SD card slot. Here's the SD card. You can rest it in there to hold it, press it in to actually use it. Then we have two HDMI ports. They can connect to other devices as well, maybe your PC. I have a MacBook, so I also can't use that because I don't have an adapter. But I think you all know how to do that with your other magnifiers that you may have. So you can either plug this into an outlet to have it turned on and off, or you can just use a built-in battery that we have. It runs for about 6 to 7 hours. So it'll last a whole school day, which is really nice if you want to carry it from classroom to classroom. If you want to leave it in your classroom, I always recommend just leaving it plugged in. All right, to close this unit, I always first push the screen, well, first turn it off. Long press hold, you're gonna see our HIMS logo come on. You'll hear it beep, it's gonna turn off. You're going to slide the screen back and up. You'll hear it click. Place the camera back in its neutral position. You have this little cover for the camera to protect it. I always put that on. And then you can use two hands. I'm going to go from behind. Usually you'd want to go in front, but just so you guys can see, two hands to press down on the device. You're going to hear a click of these orange buttons. And there you have it. It's all closed. You can pick up the handle. You can carry it with you class to class. And that's the GoVision Move. Hey, great. So now we're going to review a couple of photos that show the carrying case that we are going to have for the GoVision Move. Like we said, it is portable, and as you can see, when you lift the handle, you can move it from room to room, whether your student is moving it from room to room or you are. But to get it to each room a little easier, we do have one carrying case that will be offered here soon. So I'm going to share my screen here so you can see the photos of it. Okay, so let me just share the full desktop. Okay, well, there's one photo. Where did the other one go? There we go. Okay, so as you can see, it has a handle. Kind of think of it like a suitcase. It has a handle that can come up and down, and then there are wheels on the bottom. You can see a little bit better in this photo right here to the right. There are wheels on the bottom there. Just so you are aware, the wheels are detachable, so you don't need to have them all the time. If you would rather prefer carrying this with a strap that you see on the left, you're welcome to do that. Personally, I think the wheels are a great option. I'm just a big fan of not carrying anything personally. But yeah, so this carrying case will be offered soon, and it's a great addition to your GoVision Move. So now we're going to open this up to a Q&A. You're welcome to either type in your questions if you would like, or you can raise your hand, virtually raise your hand. And
Before we're starting the Q&A, I would like to correct one thing. I think we fixed it before, but it seems like we didn't in this video. So one thing about the USB-C connection at the back of the machine, so that is for the you can connect to your PC to control the images or editing files in the SD card. So it's not for the display. So for the display, we have a HDMI in, HDMI out, two ports, two HDMI port, but USB-C is for the connect to the computer to edit the images in the SD card. Yeah, thank
yes,
you.
good catch. Thank you, Randy. All right, so we will open it up to Q&A. You're welcome to raise your hand, and I will call on you. All right. Maybe that video did a pretty good job. All right, we'll give you just a couple more seconds if you have any
Yep,
questions.
there's a one.
I don't see it. Where is it?
There's a Q&A that Amy
Oh,
Snow.
right there. Oh, I see, I see. Does the camera rotate left and right as well as up and down? So yes, the camera, it's not a full 360, like you can't just keep spinning it around, but you can turn it to be completely out for distance view or mirrored towards you. And then yes, you can turn it left and right as well. So it's pretty mobile. It's very mobile. Okay, any other questions? All right. Well, if you think of any other questions about the GoVision Move, you're welcome to type it into the Q&A and I can answer it after this next part for the BrailleSense 7. Yeah, so just keep that in mind, okay? Earl, I'll let you take it from here.
Okay, right. We are going to cover the BrailleSense 7. It's going to be structured in a little bit differently because we are going to include some things from the BrailleSense 6 that has carried over to the 7. But mostly it's going to be about some of the changes to the user interface, the settings, the new gestures options in the settings. We're going to actually demonstrate how to use gestures, routing the cursors without physical cursor routing buttons, and we're going to have some fun with some applications. So I'm going to go ahead and start to share my screen here. And let's see. All right, here, VLC Media Player. And we'll just go ahead and begin with the user interface. Because there are definitely some things included in the package that we have never included before. But let's just go ahead and start with the basic unit. I've got the BrailleSense 7 held up here, and hopefully it's in a clear view of the camera here. You'll see that it looks just like the BrailleSense 6, kind of. It's got a very nice case. You know, HIMS does really nice hardware. The Perkins style keyboard has little divots where you can put your fingers in. Of course, it is an anatomically correct keyboard designed to contour to the natural position of your hands and your fingers. Between dots 1 and 4 on the keyboard, we have a center key. Stay tuned for more about that. We're still in a little bit of flux as to what we want to do with it, but for now, we're calling it the Gemini key. And if you're from a school or a district and you're saying, whoa, hold the phone, we can't have AI in our facility, rest assured there are ways that you can disable the whatever application you want to, actually, including Gemini or ChatGPT. Let's see, on either side of the space bar here, we have a control key on the left, alt key on the right, and from left to right, we have F1, F2, F3, and F4 is to the right of the alt key, just like on earlier versions of the BrailleSense. And we have those little scroll buttons on either end of the Braille array. This is a 32-cell BrailleSense 7. It also comes in the 40-cell model, which is the first time we've actually offered a 40-cell model. And here's what that looks like. Okay, so you see, it's really not a big difference in size from the 32-cell, probably an inch on either end, which was actually kind of surprising for me because I thought that it would be a little bit longer than that. Of course, we've got the LCD display just like we did on previous models of the BrailleSense, and this is intended for use by, well, sighted people. So teachers who might want to see what's showing up on the Braille display, the words will show up here. Another interesting use of the LCD display is as a deaf-blind face-to-face communication device. So if you have a student who is deaf-blind and nonverbal, you can connect a USB keyboard or a Bluetooth keyboard, flip the orientation of the LCD display so the person can sit opposite the deaf-blind individual, and then they can hold a conversation all day long if they want to, because you just go into the word processor or notepad and start typing to each other. The BrailleSense knows when you're typing on the Braille keyboard or when you're typing on the QWERTY keyboard. It continues to honor the grade of Braille throughout that communication for the deafblind person. So if they have it set to UEB contracted Braille, that is what it will be throughout the entire conversation. And of course, when the deafblind person is speaking to the hearing sighted person, the text shows up on the LCD display. Well, let's see here. Routing buttons. Well, we've got these things that kind of feel like routing buttons, but in fact, they are not routing buttons. They are just basically markers with a higher marking every 5 dots. So they don't do anything. We've got alternative ways of routing the cursor, which we will demonstrate in a little while. Up here in the upper right corner, we do have a power button, which I'm tapping on it now and is not accidentally being tapped, but if I very purposefully press and release, it wakes it up. Okay, on the side, well actually let's start on the bottom. Let's flip it around because I think this is critical. We have a user replaceable battery on the bottom of the BrailleSense 7. We decided not to depart from the ability to swap out a battery because eventually all batteries die, and rather than having to ship your unit in, you just place a phone call to us when you notice your battery is depleting more quickly than before, and you just purchase one as an accessory from us. It shows up and now you've got an extra battery or a backup battery. Up here where my finger is, we have in a very logical place in the center of the BrailleSense 7 on the top towards the back of the unit, we have a 20 megapixel camera. So this allows me to use my elbows if I'm using something like Be My Eyes or something to read text, and I can center the image now instead of the camera being off in some corner like the previous BrailleSenses. It still worked, we just had to adjust. And also, if you have a tablet stand, applications such as Google Lookout, a visual interpretation app, set it into text mode, put it on the tablet stand, and just start passing papers underneath it. It'll just start reading every time it detects a change. On the back, we've got two things. I'm holding up the back here. We've got on the right side a USB port, and on the left side, that's a USB-A type A port, and on the left side, we have an HDMI connector. Flipping it around to the right side of the unit, we have a wheel now.
13. Main volume 15.
This, by default, it allows me to adjust my speech parameters, and I can press and release.
Voice volume 50.
And I can go through the different parameters that I can adjust.
Voice rate 28. Voice pitch 35. Main volume 15.
Here's main volume. So what if I press and hold that wheel?
Quick scroll mode.
Now I am in a quick scroll mode, and so I can actually use the wheel to navigate if I'm in a menu system or something. Default is
Voice control mode.
voice control
Published
mode.
by Echo.
Okay. Behind the voice, or behind the wheel, we have a 3.5 millimeter jack for your standard headphone, mini jack. Behind that, we have a SD micro card slot. On board, we've got 256 gig of memory, which is a lot. However, if you want to really up the memory game, you can insert whatever you want, 1 or 2 terabyte. I've heard of people using 2 terabytes in there, so you can really expand the amount of storage space. Flipping over to the left side, we have two USB-C ports. The back one is intended for connectivity and power. On the BrailleSense 6, there was a P for power above that port, but we'll just remember, because we don't have any letters on the top here, that the back one is for power and the front one is for other accessories, such as storage devices and things along those lines. Between those two USB-C ports, we have the USB Type A, another USB Type A port, and that's all that's on the left side. On the front, we have some buttons on either end that do not have a label, but they have some little tactile writing on them. We're calling those cursor keys. And the reason we're calling them cursor keys is because we don't have any cursor routing buttons. So when you're in a document and you're carrying out an edit, you can actually place a finger on the Braille display where you would like to route the cursor and press either one of these buttons. Alternatively, because these are touch capacitive cells, which means we can actually do gestures on them, and it knows when you're swiping left, right, double tapping, using 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers to do all of the above. And we'll get a little bit more into that later. However, the good news is all of those commands that you remember using the keyboard and these function keys and things from previous iterations of the BrailleSense 7 still apply. Just to the right of the far left cursor button, we have 4 other buttons, and they have Braille labels on them. We've got the letter A, D, R, and M, and those stand for A for applications, D for daisy mode, R for record mode, and M for media mode. The button to the right of the media mode is our home button.
File Manager, F1F.
And that does the job that those of you who are using earlier versions of the BrailleSense will remember as what you get when you press F1. F1 no longer brings you to the main menu. The home button in the center on the front edge does, and these buttons off to the right of the home button, the 3 buttons here, correspond with these 4 buttons over here to the left. So there's the mode buttons. So if you switch it to media mode, these buttons are going to correspond to like back, pause, play, pause, forward, that kind of thing. And I think that is it for the... Oh, actually, no. I forgot a couple things. Remember when I said there were some things that were not included with earlier versions of the BrailleSense? You also remember that I said we have this crazy battery life of... oh, I turned that off. Let me just turn it back on because I want you to hear what happens when I plug this in. So we actually do have a device that comes with it. It's called a power module, is what they're calling it in the version of the firmware that I'm running. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop that on the back here. So holding it up.
There are no items to display static or power module mounted.
And we actually heard it say, I'm accidentally pressing all these different buttons as I'm doing this. It says power module mounted. And now I've effectively just added about 10 additional hours to that 20-hour user replaceable battery. So we've got 2 user replaceable batteries that come with it from the get-go. And the idea behind the power module was not simply to give you more battery power, but to serve as a method to mount the QWERTY keyboard that comes along. Let me turn it upside right for you guys. That comes along with every BrailleSense. So the BrailleSense comes in, again, 40, 32, and 20 cell models. The 20 cell model, which I do not have here, is based on the 32 cell model form factor. So this is the size that the BrailleSense 20 is going to be. And some people ask, well, why would you do that? and not have it smaller? Well, because we want to be able to use the same QWERTY keyboard on the 20 as we can use on the 30. And that battery, that power module that I was talking about, actually serves as, it said QWERTY ready, it serves as a method to mount the keyboard, and you can see I'm shaking it up and down. And if I had this sitting down on the table, I literally could lift it up by the keyboard. That's how strong the battery is. And because it's a hardware connection,
There are no items to display static box.
I can remove it and I can press keys because it's a hardware connection. It's not a wireless connection. So I'm not accidentally doing a bunch of stuff as I'm trying to mount the battery.
QWERTY ready.
And it says QWERTY ready. So the module, the power module, and the QWERTY keyboard that attaches to it comes with every BrailleSense. And I think we kind of took it on the chin with the BrailleSense 6 and the Polaris because we did not have a QWERTY version of our product. And I just think this is a fabulous solution for people who really want a QWERTY device. And think of it this way. What a wonderful training tool it can be as well. So as I'm typing along using the Braille keyboard and I forget how to do a particular symbol or character in Braille or maybe a contraction, I can type the word out on the QWERTY keyboard, just a matter of snapping it on, and type it in, and I can see it on the Braille display, which of course will allow me to reproduce that on the Braille keyboard later. So that's it for the physical layout of the BrailleSense 7. We're just going to go ahead and spend a couple minutes on the user interface, a couple of the changes, and the reorganization of the settings menu. Just so you know, we are preparing a TVI training guide for the BrailleSense 7, just like we have for the BrailleSense 6. The BrailleSense 7 is slated to be released in the end of July, is the new timetable that they're telling us. And during that time, we very much hope to have the user guide completed by the beginning of the academic school year. So that's coming, and why don't we just go ahead and touch on just a couple of the differences in the user interface. Of course, we could use the same commands we've always used. Really just press the home button on the front
File
of
manager,
the device.
F1F.
No longer do we use F1 to get to the main menu, but the home button is in the center on the front edge of the device. F1 now gets us into a search utility.
Quick search dialog. Search word, edit box.
And we can just type in a word, so we can search the entire device, or select a category.
Cancel button.
To search here.
Confirm button. Search category, files combo box.
So I'll go down here quick.
Apps combo box.
Apps.
BrailleSense settings combo box. Android settings combo box. User guide combo box. Appointments combo box. Contacts combo box.
So these are all the things that we can search. I want to go back to the main menu. I'm going to press home button.
File manager, F1F.
And it used to be that I could press the letter A and it would get me to an all applications folder. No longer is that the case. Now I have to move between pages by pressing space with either dots 3, 4, 5.
Android apps menu, page 3.
And now I have all my Android applications here on this page.
Android switch, calculator, calendar, camera,
And just
Chrome,
space dot forward down through the different choices.
clock.
Of course, I can do space dot 1 to go
Chrome.
back up. And I can do the mirror image of that AR sign, dot 3, 4, 5, and do the GH sign, is how I remember it, is dots 1, 2, 6.
Home menu, page 2,
To get to our home
File
menu,
manager, F1F.
where all of our hymns folders live. Let's just say that. And we've got one more page
Quick
here,
menu, page 1-3. Today's schedule, non-static.
which is our quick launch applications here. So we've got today's schedule,
Today's to-do list.
our to-do list,
Today's weather. Fridley. Recent app static
weather,
box.
etc. If I want to just quick go back to my home page here,
File manager.
again,
F,
I just press
F1.
that home button. Let's take a quick look at the settings. I could press S from here and get into settings, but I am just accustomed to pressing space with the letter O for options.
Settings. Global Braille options combo box.
And we've arranged our settings in different categories, and the new category that's been added,
Global voice options combo box.
we've got Braille options, Global Braille, Global Voice,
Gesture options combo box.
and gesture options. If we press enter on that,
Smart scroll. S. Off list item.
I hear that Smart Scroll is turned off. I'll go ahead and press the space bar to cycle that on.
On.
What Smart Scroll allows me to do is read a book or a document without having to press any buttons. So it detects when I get to the end, and when we return to the beginning of the Braille line, it automatically advances me. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of the related settings here. So
Smart scroll sound. E. Off list item.
Smart Scroll sound, if you like your bleeps and blurps and you don't mind sounds going on all the time, this is off by default.
Braille reading hand preference. H. Both hands list item.
Braille reading hands, if I press space,
Left hand.
I've got left hand,
Right hand.
right hand,
Both hands.
and both hands. I'll press down again.
Gesture. G. Off list item.
Gestures is turned off. I'll cycle that on so we can bring up some of the choices here. And I'll go down.
Gesture touch area. I. All list item.
So the gesture touch area, I've got mine set to all.
Right.
I think it defaults to right.
All.
I'm going to leave it on all. I got to be honest, I'm not quite sure how gesture options, right or all, makes a difference. I have not discovered the difference personally.
Single tap to read line. R. Off list
You
item.
can do a single tap to read line. It's off by default because we don't want you accidentally single tapping and having it read the line when you don't want it to, but it's there if you want to switch it on.
Double tap to route the cursor. C. On list item.
Double tap to route the cursor. I've got it set to on.
Double tap time limit. R. 0.25 seconds. list
And
item.
there's a double tap time limit, so you can set how long you want the double tap duration to be.
Gesture feedback. F. Both list item.
Gesture feedback, we've got both.
Off.
Off.
Beep.
Beep.
Vibrate motor.
Vibrate motor.
Both.
I like to have mine set to both.
Gesture feedback. F. Both list item.
And that's everything in the gestures menu. So I'm just going to go ahead and press enter on that
Saving. Options saved. File manager. F.
and move on to
F1.
the next section. Several months ago, we incorporated a new application called Braille Practice into all of our Braille products. So the BrailleSense 6, the 6 Mini, and the Braille Emotion. Braille Practice is a wonderful way for people to be able to kind of go off on their own and sit and learn UEB Braille code. And if you're like me, an old guy or an old person that went into UEB kind of with a little trepidation, the good news is that we have the Braille Practice application, which utilizes the Braille learning tables that have been around for a long time, but only TVIs really knew how to use them because they could follow specific curriculum. Well, we decided to take those learning tables and turn it into something that everybody can use. So I'm going to go ahead and press the front button, the home button here.
File manager. F. F1F.
Turn that volume up a little bit.
Office tools. T.
Okay. And I'm going to go into extras by pressing the letter X right from my main menu.
Braille practice. P. F2P.
Here's Braille Practice, and I'm going to press enter here. This is continues to be under development.
Welcome to Braille practice. Please enable speech for best results. Choose from the following categories. Letters, speech only, 112 list item.
And it says, please enable speech for best results. And here it says letter speech only. Well, what kind of practice would it be if we asked you to type a letter and showed it on the Braille display? So we've got speech only. And if I go down through the list, you'll hear some of the other things that I can test myself on.
Signs and punctuation 212 list item.
Signs and punctuation.
UEB literary numbers 312 list item.
UEB literary numbers.
Nemeth numbers 412 list.
Nemeth numbers.
Single character word signs 512 list item.
Single character word time
Two
signs.
character short form 612 list item.
We've got 2 character short form.
Word parts, contractions, 712 list item.
Word parts, contractions,
Advanced short forms 812 list item.
advanced short forms,
Elementary words, speech only. Secondary words, speech only. Professional words, speech only. Practice all, speech only. 1212 list item.
and we've got a practice all option. I'm not that brave, so I'm going to go up here.
Letters,
And
signs and UEB literary numbers.
let's go
312
ahead
list
and
item.
get
Nemeth,
into
single character word sign. 2 character short form 612 list
2
item.
character short form. Let's see how I do here.
2 character short forms practice. Type your answer and press enter to submit. Behind.
Behind, I actually see in Braille BEHIND, and I need to know what the short form is for that, so I will type it in here.
Again.
And it moves on to the next thing. It makes a happy noise and moves on to the next thing, which is again.
Here.
Here.
Whose.
If I didn't hear it, I see whose. So let's see if, let's get this one wrong here.
Whose.
And it makes a little nasty noise. Let's do it again.
Whose.
Oh, that's not it. And I'll do it again.
The answer is whose. Press enter to continue.
And in Braille I see, in contracted Braille in this case, the answer is, and I see dots 4 or 5 with the WH sign, which is whose. And then press enter to continue. So that's Braille practice. As I travel around the country and interact with TVIs and Braille instructors, I learned that this is being widely employed by teachers who actually tell me they love it for teaching their students. Also, I should mention that we've also incorporated the dot pad in with this. So if I plug in a dot pad or have it connected by Bluetooth, in addition to showing me the Braille symbols on the display, it will also show me the print equivalent letters on the graphical part of the dot pad. So you can get a dot pad and a BrailleSense 6 for several $1,000s less than you can get a Monarch from APH for. Although I know a lot of you guys have gotten Monarchs and it didn't cost you anything because it was part of a pilot program, which is awesome. But the point is that there is another option out there that is not quite as expensive, which is differently effective, and it's modular. So you can either choose to carry a Monarch, rather a dot pad and a BrailleSense with you, or carry one or the other. Let's go ahead and go back out to the main menu.
Google. Button camera search button. Press enter to activate.
I pressed the wrong button.
File manager. F1F.
I'm going to press X again to get into
Braille practice.
Braille practice. I'm going to go down to the bottom of this list with space 456.
Words with hymns. H.
And we've got another application called Words with Hymns. I'm going to press enter on it.
New game. N14 list item.
So it's new game.
Game settings. S.
There's
24
game
list
settings.
item. Word manager. W.
Word
34
manager.
List item. Exit. Z.
And exit.
44 exit. Z. 44 list. Game settings. S. 24 list item.
Let's go ahead and go into game settings here.
Setting dialog. Word length. 5 combo box.
Okay, word length.
6 combo box.
Let's go ahead and pick 6 characters and enter on that.
Game settings. S. 24. New game. N. 14
Yeah,
list
let's
item.
start a new game here. So the object is to guess the word here. So let's hear what we get.
Guess the hidden word using the clue provided before your chances run out. Round 1. A person you like and trust. Answer. Edit box.
A person you like and trust. I'm going to type it in contracted Braille, FR. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, enter.
Round 2. A place where people buy things. Answer.
A
Edit
place
box.
where people buy things. 6 letters, S-T-O-R-E, no. Place where market, M-A-R-K-E-T. M-A-R-K-E-T. See the effective use of my fingers? I'm in trouble when I run out of fingers. Yay! Okay, let's go ahead and do the next one.
Round 3. The time when the sun goes down.
Okay,
Answer, edit box.
the time when the sun goes down, obviously it's sunset, but I'm gonna get it wrong here.
Incorrect. Matching letters, 5.
Oh, I
Current
had
word,
5
sense.
matching letters.
Answer, edit box.
So fun set.
Incorrect. Matching letters, 5. Current word, unsent. Answer, edit box.
Num set.
Incorrect. Matching letters, 4. Current word, use at.
Run set.
Incorrect. Matching letters, 5. Current word, unsent. Answer,
Okay.
edit box.
And then I get the answer. Well, actually, I haven't gotten the answer yet. I'm going to say sunseen. Sunseen.
Please enter a 6-letter word.
Sun. Sen.
Game over. The answer is sunsent. Play again. Yes prompt button.
Okay, so it says the answer is sunset. And do you want to play again? I'm going to say no.
No prompt button.
I stink at this game.
New game. And 1-4 list.
And that's just, there's just a lot of fun little games in here that people can learn to really help promote the learning of Braille. And now with the dot pad edition, we can actually teach blind kids how to read print as well. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about gestures and Smart Scroll, which of course makes use of the touch capacitive cells. They are touch capacitive because they actually can tell where your fingers are on the Braille display, and not only can it detect just one finger, but it can detect whether you're using left hand, right hand, or one hand, or both hands on the Braille display. And it can tell how many fingers are on the Braille display at the same time. So let's go ahead and turn gestures on with that. The 2 cursor buttons on the front on either end of the Braille display.
Gesture on. File manager, F1F.
Or I should say on the BrailleSense. And I hear that I'm in the file manager, rather in the main menu. And I can navigate the file.
Office tools, T.
To the main menu by swiping left and right.
Organizer, O. Web tools, B. Library, L.
And when I come across something that I want to open, I can just
Web tools, B. Organizer,
double
O.
tap,
Office tools, T.
just like I would
File manager,
on
F1F.
a smartphone. Instead of the smooth glass, I'm actually tapping on the actual Braille display itself.
Flash disk 1.5 list item.
So here are my list of drives. I'm on flash disk. I'll double tap that.
Audiobooks folder 117 list item.
I'll flick to the right here.
Bard Braille folder 217 list item. Kipelanger Personal Finance
Double
301
tap that.
2026 folder 15 list item.
And I'm going to flick to the right here.
Remarkably Bright Creatures folder 25 list item.
Here's a very enjoyable book.
24,204 BOP 16 list item.
I found it to be so. It's called Remarkable Bright Creatures.
24,204 V01 BRF 26 list item.
And I'll double tap to open that.
Loading. 24,204 V01 BRF open.
So once I'm in the book, let's see, I'll just go ahead and jump to the top here.
Top of document. Remarkably.
And I see remarkably bright creatures. And I've got gestures turned on, but I'm going to go ahead and turn that off because I don't want to accidentally do something while I'm reading my book.
Gesture off. Remarkably bright creatures.
Again, I press the 2 end buttons on the front panel. Those are the cursor buttons. And now I'm going to press the scroll up and scroll down buttons on, I could use either end of the Braille display. Just press up and down here.
Scroll on.
And I'll just go ahead and start reading here. I see remarkably bright creatures and a novel. So I'm not pressing anything. I am simply just reading the book. It's, for some reason, it stopped on a novel, and it's not scrolling me. Okay, we're back to scrolling. Volume 1 of 4 volumes. Okay, Braille pages, and it tells me the number of Braille pages and so forth. So all the preliminary stuff that you get when you download a Braille book from Bard. Let's say that I'm not reading a book, that I'm actually authoring a document. If I want to route my cursor I can do so by simply putting my finger on the Braille display and pressing one of those cursor buttons on either end of the front edge of the Braille display, and it just brings my cursor to that location. So let's say that I want to use the double tap feature. I'll turn gestures back on. So press the two cursor buttons together.
Gesture on. Published by Echo
and let's say I want to route my cursor. I just double tap because when gesture's on, I did opt to double tap. Okay. Turn it off again.
Gesture off. Published by Echo.
Let's say that I want to block some text to copy into the word processor. Right now, when I'm reading Bard books, it actually brings me to into the notepad. So I pressed, because I have gestures off, I just touched the beginning of the line and pressed the cursor button. And now I'm going to begin my block by pressing Enter B, just like I would on the BrailleSense
Start selection
6 and earlier. And let's say that I'm going to read a little bit here. And when I'm satisfied that I want to set my end block, I'll just put my finger where I want to end the block and copy this with Enter C.
Copied.
Instead of Control C that you would use on the computer. And I'll press my hotkey to start my word processor.
Blank.
I'm at the beginning of the word processor, and now I'm going to go ahead and press Enter V to paste.
Paste.
And I've just entered that information that I copied over from my book. So that's a little bit about gestures and Smart Scroll. All right, and that was everything that we're covering this time around. And at this point, with Kayla's assistance, we'd like to just go ahead and open it up for questions.
Yeah, so if anyone has any Q&A or any questions, I should say, about the BrailleSense 7, go ahead and you can raise your hand and I'll call on you, or you can enter it into the Q&A chat as well. We'll give you just a couple more seconds if you have any. Oh, here we go. JC, go ahead and talk. JC? Monzon?
Yes, that's me. Can you hear me now?
There you go.
There
Yeah.
you are.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The format of the book, was that BRF?
Yes, it was. That's the default format from NLS Bard.
So which formats can we read on the device now?
Oh, okay. So that's a great question, because you can literally read in our document reader, which is another app that we've developed, just about any format you can think of, including PDF, EPUB, all the things, DOCX, DOC, HTML. With the PDFs also, if you just browse in the file manager and press enter on a PDF document, if it's an accessible PDF that is text-based, it'll just open it up. If it is a non-text-based PDF, so it's basically an image file with some text embedded in it, it'll actually carry out the OCR automatically and render the text as best it can.
Right. So it would convert the text, the PDF, into a doc file, or just keeps it as it is? Just make readable.
You can actually save to any format. The file formats for the word processor, the default format is DOCX, but you can save to DOC. The text, even the Notepad, the default is TXT, but you can also make that default DOCX. So if you want to author something in the Notepad and save it and share it with somebody who you know is using Microsoft Word, then you can actually change the default format to DOCX.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you, JC. Duran, Du Bois, you're welcome to Or yeah, okay, yeah. Duran, you're welcome to talk. Go ahead. Du boy.
Okay, yeah, I
Oh, there
think
you are.
There you are. Yep.
um, are you still doing pre-orders for the BrailleSense 7 or
Yes. Yeah. In fact, I mentioned earlier that there there's been a delay, and it's the good news, bad news situation. The delay is until the end of July. We've moved it from June to the end of July because we discovered a problem that we did not want our consumers to experience, which required a hardware change. So that's why it was pushed back, which means that our pre-order date will be pushed back to the end of July as well. As soon as we start shipping these guys, that is when the pre-order option is going to go away, and now we're looking at the end of July.
okay, and are you doing any kind of like if you have a BrailleSense 6, can you trade those in
Yeah.
as well?
In fact, if you go to our main our homepage, which is
Yeah.
selvasblv.com, there is a link for trade-ins, and
Okay.
there is listed everything that we accept in trade, including the BrailleSense 6 and the Polaris, and even some of the some of our competitors' products as well. Know,
Okay.
however,
Um,
that we we do not mix promotions. So if you choose to use a trade-in promotion, that doesn't mean that we can also give you the pre-order price as
okay.
well. Okay.
And then my last question is the case and all of those accessories you were talking about earlier, those are all standard with every BrailleSense 7.
True. So the case that accommodates the power module with the QWERTY keyboard comes with device. I do know that we are looking at getting a third party to develop a case in case for those folks who want to just use the Braille keyboard and don't really care about the extra 10 hours that the battery module gives you. They just want a smaller device. So there will be that option as well. But every BrailleSense comes with the power module. Every BrailleSense comes with the QWERTY keyboard, as well as the case that accommodates that configuration of the BrailleSense.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. And next we have Marcus. Marcus, you are welcome to unmute yourself. Marcus Manning, you're welcome to unmute yourself.
Okay.
All right. Well, then I think that's it. Let's see if any Q&A questions. Nope, nothing in there. All right, I think it's it. It looks like people are slowly trickling out, so that means that they must be done.
Right.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on this webinar. My email is schools@selvasblv.com. That's going to be the general school email. You can also reach me at kayla@selvasblv.com. If you have any questions about that, just so you know, we do provide loaner units, of course, not right now with the BrailleSense 7 because we haven't shipped them yet, but once we do get that inventory on there, if you want to try it out for 2 weeks, get your hands on it, see if your students like it, we are more than happy to send you a loaner unit as well. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for coming. This is recorded and we will be posting it again. So if you missed anything or have any questions, you're welcome to go back and look on the video. We will let you know when that is up and posted as well. As Earl said, we are still taking pre-orders for the BrailleSense 7. If you visit our webpage and go to the BrailleSense 7 section, you will see that you also get a nice pre-order discount as well as free shipping. So go ahead and do that. And yeah, I hope you all have a lovely summer as we head into the summer season and start to feel more prepared for the next school year coming up. All right, Randy and Earl, do you have anything else you would like to say?
I mean, how can I follow that? No, I think we're good.
All right, everyone, have a great
I
rest
just
of your
want to say thank you,
Oh.
everybody.
There's Randy. All right, have a great night, everybody. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.